Mali, known for being a gold-rich region, and Mansa Musa, the 10th emperor of the Kingdom of Mali. He was one of the wealthiest individuals during the Middle Ages. You also have Timbuktu University, which was one of the most popular ancient universities in Africa and the Middle East. If you want to see impressive mosques built entirely of clay, definitely come here. By the end of this video, you'll learn a brief history of Mali and how the Malian economy has been progressing. Also, I'll reveal some investment opportunities for you to pursue, so definitely keep watch till the end. The Empire of Mali was one of the largest empires in West African history, and at its height, it spanned from the Atlantic coast to central parts of the Saharan desert. The empire was founded in 1235 CE by the legendary king Sendiata and lasted until the early 1600s CE. The empire's most famous ruler was named Mansa Musa, and chroniclers of that times wrote that when he traveled to Mecca on a pilgrimage, he distributed so much gold that he caused great inflation that lasted a decade. The Mali Empire arose with the consolidation of several small Malinke kingdoms in Ghana and around the areas of the upper Niger River. After decades of French colonial rule and a brief federation with Senegal, the Republic of Mali was established in 1960. Following a 2012 military coup, Tuareg separatists and militants linked to Al-Qaeda took control of northern Mali, prompting a French military intervention. Terrorist attacks and tribal violence are common in central and northern Mali. Mali is a landlocked country in Western Africa. Mali borders Algeria, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, Mauritania, Niger, and Senegal. Most of the country lies in the southern Sahara, which produces a hot savanna zone. The country can be divided into three climatic zones: the Sudanic, the Sahelian, and the desert zones. The Mali Empire consisted of outlying areas and small kingdoms. All the kingdoms pledged allegiance to Mali by offering annual tributes in the form of rice, millet, lances, and arrows. Mali prospered from taxes collected from its citizens, and all goods brought in and out of the empire were heavily taxed, while all gold nuggets belonged to the king. However, gold dust could be traded, and at certain times gold dust was used as currency together with salt and cotton cloth. Cowrie shells from the Indian Ocean were later used as currency in the internal trade of Western Sahara. Rock paintings and inscriptions, as well as Paleolithic and Neolithic remains, have been found throughout Mali. Neolithic human skeletal remains dating to 5000 BCE were found in 1927 in the Sahara at El Zalair. The export trade in gold and in slaves, ivory, civet, and gum Arabic moved over trans-Saharan caravan routes from the Niger River Valley to North Africa for almost 1,000 years. Most of the 19th century was categorized by French colonial expansion from Senegal in the west and by Islamic jihads that led to the establishment of theocratic states. During the colonial period, private capital investment was virtually non-existent, and public investment was devoted largely to Office du Niger irrigation scheme and to administrative expenses. Following independence, Mali built some light industries with the help of various donors. On September 22, 1960, Mali was recognized as an independent nation. The protection of property rights is inadequate. Mali currently lacks a nationwide land registry. Less than 40% of the citizens have access to electricity. Transport infrastructure is reduced to the bare minimum beyond the main highway, the Nationale 16, which links Mopti to Gao in the far south of the region. Construction is underway on another road which will connect Timbuktu to Bamako via Niono. A national airline operates both domestic and international flights. Mali's main airport is at Bamako, and there are several smaller ones. Mali's telephone service is limited. Landline coverage is not widely available and is somewhat unreliable, although the government worked to improve and expand the infrastructure in the early 21st century. Mobile telephone service is far more popular than landline telephone service and is expanding more rapidly. Access to the internet services is limited but continues to gradually increase, particularly in urban areas, owing to the gradual popularity of internet cafes. State hospitals at Bamako and Kati are supplemented by a network of medical centers, maternity centers, dispensaries, and a mobile service that visits patients in rural areas. Research centers in tropical ophthalmology and leprosy treat patients at Bamako. Healthcare services are also provided by international relief organizations. Despite improvements in medical care, Mali is still challenged by a lack of personnel, facilities, resources, and supplies, and by difficulties involving poor access to much of the country. Malnutrition and inadequate sanitation are also problems in many areas. Houses in Mali are typically built of mixture of earth and cement. Malian towns exhibit an eclectic mix of styles, including traditional mud huts, concrete houses, European-style villas, and mosque and government buildings in the Sudanese style. The economy of Mali has been mostly unfree for nearly 2 decades. The country's lack of effective rule of law institutions presents an almost overwhelmingly impediment to development. In the absence of property rights protection or an honest and transparent judicial system, and with a seeming cultural tolerance for corruption, it is virtually impossible to achieve greater economic freedom. Mali has been experiencing instability and conflict since the military coup of 2012 and the occupation of the north by armed groups. In 2020, health, security, social, and political crises have led to a 5% increase in poverty. Some 90% of the country's poverty is concentrated in the densely populated rural areas of the south. Mali is among the 10 poorest nations of the world, is one of the 37 heavily indebted poor countries, and is a major recipient of foreign aid from many sources, including multilateral organizations and bilateral programs funded by the European Union, France, the United States, Canada, the Netherlands, and Germany. Before 1991, the former Soviet Union, China, and the Warsaw Pact countries have been a major source of economic and military aid. Mali is about 3.1 times bigger than California. The economy of Mali is based to a large extent upon agriculture, with a mostly rural population engaged in subsistence agriculture. Agricultural activities occupy 70% of Mali's labor force and provide 42% of the GDP. Small-scale traditional farming dominates the agriculture sector, with subsistence farming of cereals, primary sorghum, pure millet, and maize on about 90% of the 14,000 square kilometers under cultivation. In addition, the continued exploitation of unregulated small-scale mining, often by child laborers, supplies a large international gold market in Bamako, which feeds into international production. Recent criticism has surfaced around the working conditions, pay, and the widespread use of child labor in these small gold mines, and the method with which middlemen and regional centers like Sikasso and Kayes purchase and transport gold. Gold collected in the towns is sold on with almost no regulation or oversight to larger merchant houses in Bamako or Conakry, and eventually to smelters in Europe. The ethnic breakdown of Mali is the corporate tax rate is 35%. Some promising industries to look at: agri-industry, so particularly in livestock and fish, great potential over there. Mining sector, of course, is not as developed as it should. There's a lot of small-scale miners, so this is a good industry that needs development. Petroleum extraction from the Tudeni Basin, which the government is trying to gain interest in. Telecommunications, defense, power generation and distribution, machinery, vehicles, chemical and pharmaceutical products, and construction materials. All right, so if I was going to choose an industry to invest in Mali, I will just stick to the agribusiness industry. And reason being, I just don't trust the government enough to invest large sums of money, especially when it comes to mining. You have to have good relations with government officials, and then there could be deadly competition with other companies that have been in Mali for several decades. So if I'm starting out, I'll just stick to agriculture. There's a lot of subsistence farming, I'm sure there's a gap right there that I can fill as far as the value chain, and I'll just keep it that way. I won't try to go too much into like power generation or even mining. I'll just keep it simple with agriculture, and maybe the government can change, especially with this recent coup. You never know, but I'll just stick with agriculture for right now. If you're interested in an entrepreneurial story, I have one for you. Non-alcoholic G&T. South African taps into booming demand for alcoholic-free drinks. So I hope this video will help you better understand the economy of Mali. And if you have any relevant topics that you would like for me to do a video on, then definitely let me know in the comment section down below. And don't forget to check out this video's description for the helpful sources that I do leave in there. So just tap on it and you'll see all the information, especially the free ebook on how to be a millionaire in 50 ways inside of Africa. Got a course that talks about how you can plan for a good business. And also I do offer small business consultation services. So you can definitely check that out. If you like this content and you want to see more of this content, then definitely like this video and subscribe to the channel, and make sure to click the bell so that you're alerted when I do drop new videos. Also, please don't keep me a secret. If you know anyone that can find this video helpful, then definitely share it with them. It helps my channel grow. So until next time, I'll catch you in the next video.